So here we are at an American Walmart. Very exciting. It is a temple for capitalism, a temple to capitalism, I suppose. Yeah, lots of differences between shopping at a Walmart in the US and a Walmart in Mexico. We're going to explain some of those differences so that you know what to expect if and when you book an extended stay in Mexico. Stay tuned. So there's definitely a Walmart in La Paz. However, when you walk into that Walmart, if you're used to shopping at Walmart in the US, you'll find that while there are many similarities between the two experiences, there are also a lot of differences. Lots of things that you expect to be able to find at a Walmart in the US, or any supermarket in the US really, that you definitely can't find or can't find as easily at a Walmart in La Paz and probably other places in Mexico as well. So they definitely have health foods in Mexico. You can buy organic produce and some organic beans, rice, stuff like that at Walmart in La Paz and other stores as well. And there are mercados organicos that sell specialty health food items. However, in general, I found that, like many other things, the selection is much more limited, and in general, it tends to be a little bit more expensive. One of the things that I think is the best example of that, hemp seeds. Living in the US, Cassandra and I would buy hemp seeds all the time. We would put them in our smoothies. We would also put them in our dogs' foods. And I haven't found them anywhere in Mexico. Not at Walmart, not at any of Walmart's competitors, not even at the Mercados Organicos. Yeah, there's just some things, if you are kind of a health nut, if there's certain specialty foods like that that you're used to getting in the US, you might not be able to get them. Also, as far as organic food is considered, there are organic food sections at large supermercados in Mexico. But like with everything else that we've been talking about, it's going to be smaller with a more limited variety than you're used to. And that's just something, if you're a health nut, if that's something that's important to you, it's something to be aware of before you move so that there's hopefully less of a culture shock when you arrive.
Americans have no idea how privileged they are to get cotton bed sheets at their disposal here at Walmart on clearance, guys. Prepare yourselves.
$25. In Mexico, a cotton sheet set would cost you over $50 at least. Yeah, it's insane, night and day. It really just emphasizes to you how privileged anyone living in the U.S. is, because even Walmart, which is considered a very budget store, has 100% cotton sheets available at all of their locations. Whereas in Mexico, it's very hard to find. You pretty much have to special order it, and it's going to cost a lot more money. Holy cow. Okay, so we just filmed the last section about cotton sheet sets, and we didn't realize there was a whole other aisle of bed sheets right next to us. This aisle from start to finish is nothing but bed sheets. It's incredible, and you don't see anything like this in Mexico, at least not at the Walmart in La Paz. What color bed sheets do you want, Toots? You can have a different color for every day of the week. Whatever your mood is, we got it.
Tampons. You don't find these in La Paz.
We're a little bougie, and I fully support Cassandra's decision not to put a bunch of crazy toxic chemicals up her hoo-ha. Not only did we find that it's impossible to find organic tampons at any store in La Paz, it's damn near impossible to find tampons in general. I'm not sure what it is. I think maybe it's because the Mexican culture is predominantly Catholic, and maybe they feel weird about sticking stuff up their hoo-ha. But in any case, something that any women who are thinking about moving to La Paz should be aware of is it's very difficult to find tampons. We were able to find some organic tampons on Amazon and have them shipped to us, But even looking on Amazon, it was slim pickings, and they were in general quite pricey. We bought like a 6-month supply, but we found them on sale, so it was a pretty good deal. But in general, if you're coming here, good idea, stash as many as you can in your suitcases, because they're really hard to find down there. All right, guys, I didn't want this to be public information, but I'm coming out. I am, in fact, a stripper. It's true. I've been stripping for years. I used to only do it at night. But then after the pandemic hit, I had all this time on my hands, and I figured, screw it. And I started stripping all day, every day. But something happened when I moved to Mexico. I found that the Mexican culture was much less supportive of strippers. I started to think that I might have to stop stripping. But luckily, I was able to continue stripping by using the internet. In all seriousness, I have a deviated septum, so my nose is kind of like that, and I can't breathe very well through it. And for years, I had trouble sleeping very well. I would just wake up feeling tired, like I hardly slept at all. And so these little guys have become very important to me, and I was really concerned when I got down to Mexico. You can't find these anywhere. I had to scour Amazon to find a decent sale on some nasal strips. You can get nasal strips in the US for less than 30 cents per strip. Online in Mexico, what you should expect to pay is between like 50 cents to $1 per strip, which is way, way more expensive. 2 to 4 times more expensive. I was able to find a bunch on sale, and I ordered like half a year's supply. But yeah, if you're like me, if you have trouble breathing through your nose and you use nasal strips at night when you sleep, bring a bunch. Just stuff them into all the spare pockets of your bags. To anyone who's been researching life in Mexico for more than 5 minutes, this probably isn't news, but in case you weren't already aware of it, guns are almost totally illegal in Mexico. From what I've read, under certain circumstances, you can apply for a hunter's permit to bring in a shotgun or something like that. But in general, don't expect to be able to buy a gun of any sort in Mexico as easily or at all, really, like you can in the U.S. That being said, we've seen nothing anywhere to suggest that bows, crossbows, or any sort of archery equipment is illegal. So if you are into hunting, or if you just want some form of personal defense, that is something that you can bring into the country. And you can even fly with your archery equipment if you check it.
Your bag.
Yeah, for like $30. Dog food is yet another product category that you're going to find is much more limited in Mexico. This hasn't bothered Cassandra and me too much because we make most of our dog food ourselves, except when we're really busy. But what you'll find in Mexico is there's a lot more limited selection. And again, like with everything we've been talking about, the quality is going to be a little less than what you're used to in the U.S., where in the U.S. you can find a lot of different types of dog food where the number one ingredient is real meat. In Mexico, most dog food brands that you look at, the number one ingredient is actually going to be corn. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to feed my dogs corn. So this is kind of niche and will definitely out me and Cassandra as hipster douchebags. But you cannot find vinyl records in Mexico, or at least not in Baja California Sur from what we've seen. You can order them on Amazon, but you're not going to find them in the store like you can in the U.S. Walmart has been rolling that out across a lot of their stores in the U.S. Guitar Center also sells vinyl at most of their locations. And in most larger cities, there are still vinyl record stores. That is not the case in La Paz. It was a big shock to me and Cassandra because we really enjoy listening to music on vinyl. We bought a really, really nice, expensive new turntable before we moved to Mexico with the thought that we would spend all of these romantic evenings listening to vinyl records, watching the sunset over the desert. And then we got down there and we found out you can't buy vinyl records anywhere. You have to get them imported via Amazon. And not always, but quite often, the records you can get in the U.S. are much more expensive to buy in Mexico. So just another thing to think about, another thing to kind of paint the picture of how different your life as a consumer in Mexico will be. Seems like we just cause problems wherever we go. We had multiple employees in Walmart chide us for filming inside of there. Apparently that's against store policy because it might make other customers uncomfortable. But given that only like 50 people are gonna see this video, if that, I think it's okay. And I'd rather ask forgiveness than permission. It was funny. We told them that we were students and that this was for a class project. And then we said that we only had to finish the clip we were working on. And so the first employee said she'll
look the other way.
Yeah, turn a blind eye. And so we seized the opportunity to run around the store and get as much footage as we can to get as much footage as we could of as many other things as we could. And then another employee was walking by while I was talking about dog food, and he was like,
"You still filming?"
"Yeah, you're still taking pictures?" And I was like, "Leaving now." So yeah, like, guys, we're risking everything to bring you this critical information, and we hope you appreciate it. We hope you like and subscribe. It's the least you can do. Hipsters of the world unite.